20th of December already and 4th Advent Sunday. So I've got one more Wellbeing Sunday special practice for you. And special about this practice is also that we're not going to do it together in this video as we used to do, but rather I would like to share my personal story of how I got to this practice and explain to you how it works so that you can take it, make it your own and try it if you like. And I call this practice manifesting goals. And the way how I got to it is on a train ride from Salzburg to Zurich on a Sunday afternoon once when the train was really packed, and I just found one last seat in the silent compartment of the train next to a Swiss woman who was traveling the same way and who started to talk to me, and we realized we have several common interests and ended up in a really inspiring conversation, totally absorbed in our stories, so that we completely forgot about being in the silent compartment, pissing people off perhaps. And one of the things that she shared with me during that time was that when she was in high school, she wanted to quit high school like a year and a half before she was about to graduate. And she went to her mom, said to her mom, I want to quit high school. And her mom said, okay, fine, you can quit high school. You're old enough to take that decision, but under one condition. Before you take that decision, I want you to write down your goals for life, where you see yourself in 10 years from now, every day for the next 3 weeks. And I want you to do that every day before you go to bed and write them down in the most vivid way you can imagine. And then hand in to me whatever you've written every day. So she did that. She thought, well, how hard can that be? And she realized, well, actually, it's not that easy. First challenge was already to really figure out what was it actually that she wanted and get that very crystal clear to even be able to write it down. But she managed. She wrote down her goals every day for 3 weeks. And after that, she sat down with her mom. Her mom and her, so they looked at all the different papers she had written throughout the 3 weeks, and realized that actually she got her goals pretty crystal clear, was pretty consistent what she's been writing down over time. So her mom said, okay, fine, you decide whatever you want. And she said, well, you know what, I don't even want to quit high school anymore. She had it very clear in her mind now where she wanted to be 10 years later, and also what was necessary in order to achieve that. So she knew it was going to be hard to finish high school for her, but she also knew it was going to be worth it. And what she wanted to tell me with that story was basically just how powerful this practice of writing down her goals is, because she also told me 10 years later, her mom came back to her with all those sheets she had written back then. She looked at it again and realized, wow, it had come true 1-to-1. All of those goals she has written down, they came exactly true. And that was also the moment when she had picked up that practice again to write down her goals every day before she goes to bed. And yeah, that was also what she wanted to share with me back then. I also tried it. I also found it challenging in the beginning to even get to know what is it that you really want and what is it that you don't want. And also, what does it feel like once that comes true? Because that is also a very essential part of the practice, to not only really write it down and thereby make it very concrete and graspable, but also to imagine what would it be like once those goals come true. But I can totally encourage you to do it, because it's a really, really powerful practice. And one more thing that I also heard repeatedly is that especially if you do it just before going to sleep, you are in that very special phase between our normal awake consciousness versus sleep state, kind of this blend between the two, in which our subconscious mind is very open to manifesting such things. And subconsciously we're kind of setting ourselves up not only for the next day by kind of falling asleep with this idea of what do I wake up for the next day, but also subconsciously setting ourselves up to kind of keep always on the lookout for the right opportunities to come our way. I thought that was a really beautiful practice, looking towards 2021, new year, new inspiration, new goals perhaps coming up. So yeah, I thought I want to share that with you. And to wrap it up, there is basically 4 steps to this practice. The first one is to take maybe 2, 3, 5, perhaps 10 minutes every night. Second is to write down your goals. Very important to really write them down, not just think them through, but really write them down. So you can also come back to them later and see if you are consistent over time. And third step is to write them down in the most vivid and alive way you can imagine once they really come true. To put yourself every night into that feeling of what is it like once those goals come true. And step number 4 is to do that for at least 3 weeks straight. That's it. So taking some time every evening, writing it down and feeling it, doing it for at least 3 weeks. Yeah, let me know if it works. Try it out and enjoy.